As hurt and anger have swept across this country over the past week, we have also seen so many poignant moments amid the chaos. One of them we found in Charlotte, North Carolina. 3 generations of black men sharing this emotional exchange at a protest. Curtis Hayes Jr. seen in the video urging the future of the fight for change to find a better way. We're going to talk to Curtis in just a moment. First, take more look at that video. Raw emotion and pain on full display in protest all across the country.
I'm tired of it. They're standing right there. And I understand. I'm tired of it.
This powerful video from Charlotte, North Carolina, with over 22 million views. It starts with a young black man attempting to calm down an angry protester.
Always standing around for a kumbaya. Ain't nobody coming to protect us.
A heart-wrenching moment shared between 3 strangers from 3 different generations, 16, 31, and 45 years old.
This 16. He's 16. He's 16. What we gonna do? You tell me. What we gonna do? This ain't the way.
The man in the middle, activist Curtis Hayes Jr., with a passionate plea.
What you see right now is gonna happen 10 years from now. 10 years. You're gonna be right here too. But he also got to. So what I need y'all to do right now at 16 is come up with a better way. Cause how we doing it, it ain't working. Y'all come up with a better way. Cause we ain't doing it.
Oh my God.
The misconception is that being a gentleman is just about being polite or courteous to women. In actuality, to be a true gentleman means that you have respect for your fellow man, so it encompasses men and women. Style is something that you evolve into. It's about your personality. It's about how you live your life.
Because we've been in a situation, generation after generation after generation, going all the way back to Emmett Till, to this day. There's a true, there's a true parallel from what Emmett Till was to where George Floyd ended up.
Right.
The difference in it is everything is visual now. We can see it now. We know what happened to Emmett Till. Didn't necessarily see it, but now we saw what happened to George Floyd.
Correct.
So the importance of you as a man saying, as a young boy saying, I want to affect some type of change. And the first change you want is to help your mother.
Correct.
And now it's like, I want to help, period.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
The world. I mean, originally when I started my quest for success, it was to provide generational wealth for my family, my mother, my sisters, my brother, my kids, but I believe that God has a more of a purpose for me because I went through so much. I've experienced a lot within the 32 years that I've been living, and now I think my goal is just to spread it amongst the world for sure.
Let me ask you a serious question. Where you get that jacket from?
I got this from when I was in New York. I got it from, what's the store that everybody go to? JW Crew.
JW Crew? Oh, I've heard of that store.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice jacket.
Thank you, brother.
Nice jacket.
We also do fashion on the Gentleman Style Show, just to let you know.
This man has some suede shoes on,
Yeah.
He's got some black suede. Those
Nice.
are the, what do you call those? The style of that shoe. Saying like this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, he got some black suede shoes on. They fire.
Nice. See, we always love when a guest comes to the show and they do that.
And they represent.
Yeah, they represent.
This dude, he representing. Curtis is representing over here.
Appreciate doing the thing. Let me go here. When did you finally realize, like with the whole viral thing, what was that moment? It's like, what? Huh?
Man, so as black men, we experience so much through our lives that we never deal with undealt trauma. So it's funny during that time, I was really going through some things, just my life and just the way it's set up. You gotta be mentally strong for in everything that I do. But man, I went out and protest, went home, took a shower, went to sleep, woke up the next morning, and all of my little cousins who be on social media, I didn't even have an Instagram until that day.
Really?
Until that day. My cousins called me and was like, Curtis, you are like all over the internet. And that was probably about 100,000 views. And it just kept coming in that day. And by probably the next two days, it was up to like 28 million viewers. And Robin Roberts was reaching out to me, and I was like, oh, I'm about to go on Good Morning,
I told y'all.
But yeah, man. I mean, it was a tense night.
Yeah.
You know, I felt good. I was able to talk to that young man. I felt like he really heard me.
Who filmed it? Who was filming it? And who posted it? Who filmed it?
So a young lady was right there filming that was standing behind me. Yeah, had a lot of.
Did you know she was filming?
I didn't. I knew nobody out there.
Okay.
I was out there alone.
Oh, okay.
I was out there alone, and she filmed it, and I guess she posted it, and then one of her friends reposted it, and that's kind of when
it just started taking off.
It spread like wildfire.
Where was it posted at first? Was it on Instagram? Was it on Twitter? Where?
See, man, I only had a Facebook at that time.
Yeah.
I never really got into social media platforms like that. But I think I want to say Snapchat.
That's where they posted it.
I want to say Snapchat, and somehow I got on Instagram.
Right.
But the first thing I said is I don't care about the violence. Did they understand the message? What are they saying about the message?
Right.
The amazing part of that is, before I saw the video, I saw the still photo.
Okay.
There was a still
With
photo.
the teardrop.
Right. And I saw the photo, and I was like, I always say I used to be a photographer. I'm always going to be a photographer.
Right.
I just don't, as they say, I don't practice as much as I used to. But I saw the photo, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
That's all I could. I was like it was
capture that moment.
Yeah, it was a powerful moment
Yeah.
to look at that photo, and I was like, and I saw the caption. It said something like generational something or three generations, something like that.
3 generations.
Yeah, and I looked at that, and I was like, boom. I was like, that is a beautiful picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I found out there was a video to it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I got to go see what the video was all about. And then I went and I looked at the video, and I was like, wow.
Yeah. It captured so much, and even after the video, people seem as though that it's a bad thing for black men to show any emotion.
Yeah.
I think that was a really big thing, was when they seen a black man showing emotion. When you really think about it, I think the world pictures a black man as strong and in an animal's type nature, like they don't care about anything.
Yep.
They don't care about anything but themselves. And if you cross any lines or borders, then it's an intentional. And I gotta tell everybody, black men, we got families, we got wives, we got kids, we got mothers, grandmothers. Like we live the same exact life y'all live. We just color of our skin is different.
Right.
So during that time, the emotion that came with it was raw emotion.
Yeah.
And the world was like,
Yeah.
this black man's crying. He's spreading a dope message. So it was all dope in itself. So
The combination was so it was so powerful. Like, you know, I look at things on Facebook and Instagram and all these things, but when I look at things now, I look at things some for entertainment value. Like I don't like to watch, you know, things where, you know, we're fighting or we're tearing up something or we're in the light that most society think we are anyway, or the animalistic things that they think about us.
or they want us to be in.
Oh, right.
Let's keep it 1,000.
Yeah, so I always try to look now, partly because of the show, to find people doing something that you can't dispute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't find fault with that. And when I saw this, I was like, you can't find fault. What can you say about? You can say anything that you want. You can find fault with anything with anything, but with that moment, there was nothing. You couldn't find fault with that. You know, a black man showing vulnerability and trying to give a message to others. He don't have to do that. He's not getting paid for that.
Right.
You know, he's basically, like you said, raw emotion. I'm trying to tell you there's a better way.
Has to be.
Yeah. And it was just, it resonated with me, and I looked at it and I said, you know what? A lot of times people they don't go with their instinct.
Right.
And I saw that. I said, you know what? I don't know this guy. I don't know if he's famous, not famous. I don't know who he is. I was like, but I need to figure out what his name is.
Yeah.
So I started with that. I was like, who is this dude? And when I found your name, I said, you know what? I don't know what he does. I don't know if he wants to be on camera or not, but I want to have a conversation
Oh
with
man,
him.
it was an honor for you guys to reach out for sure.
I was like, I want to have a conversation with this guy. And then when we called you on the phone, it was everything that like that conversation.
That first conversation,
yes.
we were just all just sitting there.
Yeah.
That was an interview right there.
That was an interview. Like, I would have loved to have had that, you know.
right there.
And that was just
if
like
we had done a
us just
podcast-
talking.
If that was a podcast, it would have been a hell of a
It would've been
podcast.
good.
Yeah.
So I just appreciate the fact that, you know, in talking to you, that it wasn't just about that moment. Some people get caught up in a moment and they have a persona for a moment.
Right.
And then that's all that was.
Right.
But that's who you were, and you were giving of yourself. So that's the one, if I have to say, lesson or something you guys, you know, when I say guys, the audience can take from this conversation is never be afraid to be yourself, whether that comes with tears, whether that comes with emotion. You just have to understand how to channel it and put it to good use. And I think you did that in abundance. When people reach out to you for just words, man, that's a beautiful that's a beautiful thing. You know, we don't get the credit that we deserve as black men a lot of the time. That hence how the show was created. We created this show because we felt like we weren't getting the due. Like, you know, as, you know, professional black men, you know, people don't talk about us.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're not basketball players. We're not actors. Not musicians.
We're under the radar.
Right. But we are the ones out here doing the thing.
Right.
We're keeping us afloat to a certain degree. You know, the things that you say and the people you talk to with your youth league. These are the things that keep us afloat.
Because it shows that we are, we're good individuals. I don't think that they see that in that light so much. It's the negative light is shown 100 times more than the positive that we do as black men within our communities. That ultimately trickles down to every race.
Yeah.
That's what people miss, is everything that we do as black men, it trickles down to every single race.
And it's funny, we can do something negative the same as another race, and ours is so compounded. It's end of the world. Put it on TV. Look at what this black man did.
But you know, man, I'm a realist, and we can't continue to turn to look at that out the peripheral rise. right now we have that locked-in vision to sit there and say, well, how don't they understand it? Well, why don't we understand it? They don't understand it. Because it's been a problem for hundreds of years. So if we do know that, again, my thing is figuring out the solution of things. I want to figure out if something repetitively happens over and over. That's why I told that young man, there has to be a better way. If you go and you look at history and study it, we've been doing this over and over for hundreds of years. The most influential people of our time has done this and gone. There's nobody else that can step up being Martin Luther King or Malcolm X. No one in our time is like that. If you really want to be honest, there's no influential people of our time like that right now. Now I appreciate everything that everybody else is doing. Don't get it twisted. But at the same time, when something happens repetitively, we have to really sit back and say, what's the solution? And it's so deep. And when you say that, it goes back to history. When you say that when we do something negative, the light is shined. When you go back to slavery, when slavery was abolished, everybody was,
Theoretically, it was abolished.
Theoretically, right. But then you come with police. You come with prisons. You come with, because in the law it states you are free until you basically do something to criminalize you that will bring you back to be a slave.
Exactly.
And that's what people miss.
Yeah, they miss that totally. Speaking of, let me ask them this question. Okay. Since we're talking about slavery and all that type of stuff, what do you feel about the current presidential election? What are your thoughts about that?
You want my honest thoughts?
Sure, I sure do.
Absolutely.
No matter what president we go with, there's going to be a blow up in America, because the left want their president, the right want their president, and either way it goes, where we are at in history, the determination of who the president is going to determine a lot thereafter. So what everybody really needs to be prepared about, now go vote. Go vote.
There you go.
Go vote.
Absolutely.
But in the midst of that, we also need to be prepared, because if the president who's in office right now wins, there's going to be a blow up. If Joe Biden comes and wins, there's going to be a blow up. So we all need to be prepared. But go vote.
Right. Okay.
You heard him. Go vote. Go vote. Go vote. Go. I can say this too. I can't be blue in the face because I'm dark, so I just be darker. But
you be black in the face.
Okay.
Because you're dark.
Yeah.
You'd be dark.
Yeah. Well, as the saying. Yeah. But go vote. Stand for something. We can no longer. And the statement I was going to make, before you asked.
Vote early.
Yeah.
Go vote early.
But the statement I was going to make is sometimes we let America off the hook by our own actions, because they look at us and we sit and we say Black Lives Matter, we count all these different things, but then in our own communities we don't respect each other in our own
no
communities.
action.
Yeah.
Boy, don't get me started.
Hey man, get started.
Because I'm serious, man. As a 32-year-old black man who has been in the streets, who has made mistakes, man, I get it. But when we sit there and we talk about this and that and what this side is doing and what we've never, but then you go into your own neighborhood and you can't go march with us to combat against inequality and injustice, but you can go and shoot at somebody that's on the same street that live across the street because I don't understand that with our people. If you really want change, you gotta change first.
Right. Thank you. This is something I've been saying, and I know it's not popular with our community, but I say it all the time. Don't sit back and look for somebody else to save you. Save yourself first.
I made a statement, and the statement goes that we have been oppressed as black people for so long that we are now becoming our own oppressors.
Boy, go ahead now. Go ahead now.
No, there's a lot in that though. And I'm not even going to go into it because it goes into religion and all that type of stuff and everything. And some people really feel strongly about certain things like that and everything. But it's a definite correlation with the current mentality of how people are and what they do. To your point, or what you said, the being oppressed and keeping oppressing ourselves. And people don't want to delve into it and acknowledge it.
They don't.
But it's true.
Very.
It's true. And once again, I'm not gonna go. That's
Right,
another
that's what
conversation.
That's another conversation.
I don't even know if you know where I'm coming from. About
I do.
that. Okay. So,
Oh yeah, I'm on it.
so-
But I just think, you know, and having this conversation, and this is great, I just think that as men, 3 black men sitting down having a conversation, you know, not preaching to anybody, not telling you what to do, but hopefully triggering your thought process of, you know, you said it, we can march and we can riot and we can tear up something, but we don't respect our own place in society. As black men, if you know what's happening out there to yourself, it's time to step back and have a self-evaluation and say, I don't want to put myself in that situation.
You don't want to.
You know?
I don't want to operate in mediocrity.
I don't want to.
I don't want to be marginalized.
I don't want to be marginal.
We were having a
It's
conversation.
a thing.
Yeah,
It's a real
We
thing.
were having a conversation the other day about, and this is the simplest thing, about how people really will never leave their own surroundings to see something new, something better,
Right.
something
Right.
greater.
Complacent.
Exactly.
This is how it works.
Complacent.
I grew up in Bluefield, West Virginia. Tiffany Manor Projects. My grandmother was there. My aunts was there. I had uncles was there. I had cousins that was there, right? So when you put in your mind, that's where I grew up. I don't want to see nothing else. I'm happy with this. You know, I'm comfortable with this. And that was in 1992,
Right.
when I was 6. There are still individuals that I grew up with that still think like that, because what we teach is, and I hate to say it, what we teach in our communities though, is as long as you are comfortable and you are able to do what you need to do, not what you want to do, what you need to do, you are okay. And that's how you get through life, and that's how we get complacent. That's how we live paycheck to paycheck, and that's how we can't go and go to experience this. Man, I talk to some people, man, and I try to open their mind. And I say, you know, you from this place? Have you ever been outside of?
Right.
Well, you know, I'm from Arlington, Virginia, but you know, I've been over to Richmond. That's not what I'm asking.
Right.
You ain't been nowhere.
Exactly.
And I think what my life, like I'm about to go into it, like I want to know, why do we think like that? Why can we not come out of that complacent and that comfortable, that little throw blanket we got? Is so much more in life. And as a black person, you are the best thing walking this world. You are, come on, walk in it, hold your head high,
It's so powerful.
put your crown on,
It's
and go live.
Powerful. It's so powerful.
We sit in a place and we can, you know, we can blame.
About right there.
Yeah, we can blame.
That's it.
We can play the blame game with the best of them. You know, as a culture, you know, it's their fault. They're the reason why I'm not getting. They're the reason why I don't have. But there's some truth to the fact that if you don't, as you said, walk in your own greatness, there's nobody that you can ever blame. We stand on the shoulders of some of the richest,
The giants.
creative, forcing powers that have ever walked this earth. When you talk about the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X's, the Sojourner Truths, oh my
Everybody
goodness,
in between.
you know, oh my goodness, we stand on those shoulders, and we don't respect it to a certain degree. What they went through, I never had to go through what they had to go through.
What?
I don't have no excuses. Ain't nobody stopped me from doing nothing. Ain't nobody stopped me from voting. Nobody stopped me from going to the damn water fountain. But we sit back with so many excuses. I can't. I fell down. Get the hell up.
Being used to it.
Yeah.
It's we literally continue to train our minds how we trained them 100 some odd years ago, even before those times. And now and again, I'm trying to figure out why we cannot come out of that mental prison. We are in a mental prison. And like you said, we sit here and we say, well, it happened then, it's happening now. And why? While that might be true, you literally now in 2020, you have the option to, or the choice where this is going to continue or where you're going to stop it. But again, it's about breaking the cycle. Right. And until you break the cycle in your own head, you can't tell anybody else to break the cycle.
Can't do it.
Because you haven't broke. You still bonded. You still in bondage.
Right.
You still chained up.
People. I tell, and this is one thing. My mom, and she's always said this, but you can't help anybody if you can't help yourself.
You can't.
That's right.
You can't.
That's right.
You can't.
You can't.
Right. How can I give you something the hell I don't even have? I can't. And that's even physically, like money wise. I can't give you money that I don't have. I can't give you knowledge that I haven't gone out to seek. I can't help you change something that I'm not willing to change myself. It's a great thing to have. You're younger than we are, and that was the beauty of when I first spoke with you, and found he was like, man, I'm 32, and I was like, yes, there's hope. You know what I mean? There's hope on the horizon. And I see these young kids out here marching, and I am so proud of them and blown away by it, because they're leading this march, and they're out there trying to do it the right way. And then you got those people that's trying to push the envelope and the needle, saying that, we're out here being destructive, we're tearing up places.
Well, what the other part of that is, it's not just one race. Out there. Yeah. There's more of a combination of races now than I think I've ever seen. People are tired of the division.
They ask that question, and I mean, we see it all across the United States, even across the world. Did some interviews over in Japan, and what we have to understand over here is we don't even educate our mind about the world, we educate our mind about the United States of America. But in reality, until the United States of America changes, the world is not going to change.
Right, because it's a leader.
Oh, man.
Even now, even though it's been minimized because of what's happening, it's still a leader. People look at it. It's the example.
And it's huge over in those countries, and the injustice, and they are looking to America,
right,
to lead the charge in equality.
Right.
And when you think about what the right says, and we're radicals and all of that, when you think about it, they do not like anyone who is for equality, who wants to make, whether you're black, Chinese, white, they don't like that you want to make them of equal. They feel as though they're the superior race, and they want to remain in that. And when people say Donald Trump and things like that, and while I agree for some of his business policies, because I'm a business.
Right.
At the end of the day, as an America, in order for us to get back to those days of cookouts and family time and just those beautiful days, we got to vote. Because if we have someone in the White House that is for division, what comes with division is war.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Right.
If nobody else wants to say it, what comes with the divide in the time that we are in comes war.
Right.
And people are preparing for it, whether you want to be naive to it or not. And if you don't want to pick up a live weapon, your weapon is voting.
There you go. That's it.
Let me ask you this. I think not off topic, but what in this COVID time, what have you missed most about regular life in this pandemic? What have you missed most?
My business life can be stressful.
Right.
I miss traveling, man.
Me too.
I literally just want to go somewhere, man, for 3 or 4 days.
Right.
Turn my phone off and just be able to enjoy the beach without having to grab my coat and open the door, smell my stank breath when I wake up in the morning. You know, I mean, I miss the sun rising in the morning. You like it's gonna be a beautiful day with no caution tape. No, let me look over my shoulder. There might be a protester on this side that don't like me. Let me look over here. It might be a person that want to wear a mask. Just to go through life like that, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, our lives have forever changed.
Forever. It's not. People want to say, it's going back to.
No, it's not.
First and foremost, the world will never go back to normal. How it was before.
Right.
How it was before. When you look at NFL, you look at the stands, and there's nobody in it. There's no excitement in the stands for football.
Right.
And while people are yelling that if this and that, if this president was here, that everything. No, it's not going to go to normal. We all need to adjust. We all need to adapt. And we all need to figure out the solution of how we can all be happy. Mm-hmm. And going with just the left agenda or the right agenda, you know, I want somebody to emerge who is willing to work together.
Right.
That's what I want. I want someone who looks at America and say, America is torn up. No longer are we going to just go with the left. No longer we're going to go to the right, even though they have their own agendas. And I understand their agendas because, you know, you pull power from one side to the next. You know, where is somebody going to come in and make an even median? You know, I don't want to see just the superstars. I want to see somebody's going to come in even keel.
Right.
You know?
And you said, in saying that, one of the things I've always thought is, as a president, the best president will always be the one that takes the best from both sides. You know, Republicans have some good stuff.
They do.
Democrats have some good stuff.
They do.
Take the best.
It's about doing the right thing.
Yeah, people. We talked about this before. The thing about politics is it's never about the money. It's about the power. People kill, die. They'll do whatever for that power because it's intoxicating. It's addictive. I need that power. I'm the one that controls this, and they don't want to relinquish it.
Exactly.
And so it's hard to say I'll work with left and I'll work with right because it's the power.
Mm-hmm.
If the right gives me more power, I'm gonna rock with the right. You know, if the left gives me more power, I'm gonna work with the left. And so you find yourself not even. I don't think most politicians are ever themselves. That's one thing that I say. I don't think they're ever themselves. Once they get into politics, they're whatever they need to be.
I can agree with that. I mean, I will be entering into the political race. I'm gonna always be me.
And that's what we need. I say that. I think that's more the norm. But I do know.
Y'all heard that, right?
Yeah.
He said he's gonna always be him. We're gonna watch.
I can guarantee you that I'm gonna
hold his feet to the fire on that.
And when you think about the politicians, when I did my research, the politicians, man, are CEOs of these huge companies.
Yeah.
You think city council pays $20,000
Easily, if that. But yeah.
$20,000 a year.
Yeah.
Can you live? I can't live off $20,000 a year.
Yeah. Right.
So the people that fill these seats are these individuals that know. They even kill individuals that would love to be on city. They can't because you don't pay them enough. Right. So now you got these CEOs who have their one agenda.
Right.
And they know that they can easily win the race. Right. They come in and now they apply their agenda.
Yeah, it goes back to money again.
It does.
You can't spend the time because you can't do it.
So instead of us going to wait in these lines on Saturday mornings for Jordans, can I have some people line up that can sit on city council and that can sit within these local and government seats to help change? Mm-hmm. Because that's where the change is going to come from. Is us saying, you know what? If I want change, let me really understand these policies and the Constitution and these laws, right? And then let me see if I can go in and win a race and cause some change.
Exactly.
And you make a very good point to those who watch us and whoever comes new. Go out and research and understand how politics works.
Actually, go read the entire Constitution, but go ahead.
But you know what I was going to say is, within your community, whatever county you live in, research the people that represent you.
Right.
We tend to worry about the presidential election and forget that what affects you is
More
that,
closely.
right, is the local government.
government.
You know,
Yeah.
your governor,
Your sheriff,
your city planners,
all
your
that, mayors,
all of these people determine where your kids go to school,
right?
Where your money goes.
where your money goes,
what rights is passed.
right.
How they're policing your areas.
Oh man,
All of
that.
these
All that
things.
stuff.
So I strongly suggest. I can't tell you what to do, but I strongly suggest you research. You research what the hell Kanye did. He do something crazy. You go out there and figure out, well, what Kanye do? Go out and figure out what's going on in your community.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's it.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Listen to Killer Mike sometimes. He'll tell
Oh
you.
my goodness.
Killer Mike, he was 1,000.
The local.
1002.
He's going to keep it real.
That's right.
Killer Mike, if you see this, I've been trying to get at you because we need to have that sit down. I enjoy listening to this guy because not only does he keep it 100, 1,000, 2,000, but his action. He's a dude. He will talk great to you, absolutely no doubt. But his actions make what he's saying that more powerful because he's not telling you, oh, this is the way it could be. He's out there doing it. So big shout out to Killer Mike, that brother right there, and he's got T.I. on board with him doing things too. So big shouts out to T.I. and both of them guys down in the Georgia area building. And I say that building.
Right.
They're building communities down there. So you know that's a great thing. So I'm definitely shout. Hey, we ain't talking about no albums, no music, or nothing. We talking about what these guys are doing in the community.
As black men.
As black men, absolutely. You got anything else, man? Because
we probably need to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Curtis, in that camera over there, tell us how we can contact you and any type of relevant information that you wish to share right there on the wrap up.
Well, you can reach me on Facebook. You can look up Curtis Hayes. On Instagram, it's Curtis_Hayes NC.
Once again, thank you for joining us for the Gentleman of Style show. And like we always like to say, there is no excuse for good taste.
Because at the Gentleman Style Show, we believe in that.
Absolutely.
Till next time.